What if the thing standing between you and tighter skin, stronger joints, and a body that moves like it's 10 years younger isn't a serum, isn't a procedure, and isn't even expensive? It's sitting in your kitchen right now. Most people are pouring money into collagen creams that sit on the surface of the skin and barely do anything. But there's a small group of foods that your body actually uses to build collagen from the inside. Foods people have relied on for generations. Food science is only now catching up to. Today, I'm giving you 12 of them. Not just the obvious ones you've heard 100 times. I'm including a few that almost never make these lists, and by the end you'll understand exactly why they belong here. Stick with me, because number 7 is a fruit most people only think of as a snack, but gram for gram, it's one of the most powerful skin repair foods on this list. And number 11 might be sitting in your fridge right now, completely overlooked. One more thing before we start. This isn't about buying anything new or expensive. Every single food on this list is something you can find at a regular grocery store. Let's get into it. 1. Bone broth. We have to start here, because nothing else on this list works quite like this. Bone broth is made by slow simmering bones and connective tissue for hours, sometimes a full day. That slow heat breaks the collagen locked inside the bones down into gelatin, and eventually into individual amino acids, glycine and proline, the exact raw materials your body uses to build new collagen in your skin, joints, and gut lining. This isn't a new idea. Cultures across the world have leaned on this for generations. Chinese medicine has used long-simmered bone soups to support joints and recovery. European households simmered bones into stock as a kitchen staple, not a trend. Indigenous communities across different continents made bone broth a first food after illness, long before anyone had a word for collagen. What makes bone broth different from a scoop of collagen powder is that it's a whole food. Alongside the amino acids, you're also getting minerals like calcium, magnesium, and phosphorus that leach out of the bone during the long simmer, plus compounds that support the cushioning tissue in your joints. How to use it? Simmer bones, beef, chicken, or fish, with a splash of vinegar to help draw out minerals for 12 to 24 hours. Strain it, season it, and drink it warm, or use it as your base for soups and stews. If you only do one thing from this whole video, start here. 2. Wild salmon. Everyone talks about salmon for omega-3s. Fewer people talk about the skin. Salmon skin is packed with marine collagen, a type that closely resembles the collagen already present in human skin, which is part of why it's considered easy for your body to use and absorb. Meanwhile, the omega-3 fats running through the flesh play a quieter but equally important role. They calm the inflammation that slowly wears existing collagen down over time. Think of it this way. Most foods on this list help you build new collagen. Omega-3s help you keep the collagen you already have. Both matter equally. How to use it? Leave the skin on when you cook it. Pan-sear it skin side down until it crisps, or roast it whole. Wild-caught is preferable when it's accessible, but farmed salmon still delivers meaningful benefit. Don't let perfect get in the way of consistent. 3. Oysters. This is the one most people ignore completely, and it might be the most important food on this entire list. Oysters are the richest natural source of zinc on the planet, and zinc isn't optional here. It's a required cofactor for the enzymes that physically assemble collagen fibers. You could be eating plenty of protein and still underproduce collagen if your zinc intake is low, which, globally, is more common than people realize, especially for anyone eating a mostly plant-based diet. On top of the zinc, oysters hand you glycine and proline directly, the same amino acids bone broth provides, just already sitting inside a complete, easily digestible protein. They also carry copper, which becomes important again in a few minutes when we talk about walnuts. Coastal cultures across Asia, Europe, and the Americas ate shellfish as a staple, not a luxury. The special occasion food framing is a fairly modern shift. How to use it? Fresh, smoked, or can all count? You don't need to eat them daily. Once or twice a week is enough to matter. If this is already reshaping how you think about your grocery list, tap that like button. It genuinely helps this video reach more people looking for real, food-based answers instead of another cream that doesn't work. Okay, let's keep going. 4. Bell peppers. Quick fact that surprises almost everyone. A single red bell pepper has close to double the vitamin C of an orange. And vitamin C isn't just good for you in some vague wellness sense. It's the specific nutrient required to activate collagen synthesis. There's an enzyme in your body that converts one amino acid into the stable form your body actually builds collagen fibers from. And that enzyme cannot function without vitamin C. No vitamin C, no finished collagen. Full stop. Bell peppers also bring beta-carotene, which your body converts into vitamin A, a nutrient tied to the turnover of new, healthy skin cells. So you're not just getting the raw activation nutrient. You're also supporting the surface where that new collagen actually shows up. How to use it? Raw and sliced into salads is the simplest way to preserve the vitamin C content, since heat gradually breaks it down. Roasting is fine too, just know you're losing a bit of the vitamin C in exchange for flavor. 5. Kiwi. This one rarely makes these lists, and that's a mistake. Kiwi is loaded with vitamin C, often more per serving than an orange, which puts it right alongside bell peppers as a synthesis-activating food. But kiwi also carries an enzyme called actinidin, which supports protein digestion. That matters more than people assume, because if your gut isn't efficiently breaking down protein, you're not fully absorbing the amino acids that foods like bone broth, salmon, and oysters are giving you in the first place. In other words, kiwi doesn't just add its own value. It may help you get more value out of everything else on this list. How to use it? Eat it whole with the skin on if you don't mind the texture. That's where extra fiber and nutrients concentrate. Otherwise, peeled and sliced or blended into a smoothie. 6. Garlic. Garlic's role here is less about building collagen and more about protecting it. Collagen fibers are held together partly through sulfur-based crosslinks, and garlic is one of the richest everyday sources of sulfur compounds. Beyond supplying the mineral itself, garlic contains active compounds that appear to slow down the specific enzymes responsible for breaking collagen down. Enzymes that ramp up when inflammation is elevated, whether from stress, poor diet, or sun exposure. This is a food with an enormous amount of research behind it generally, for heart health, blood pressure, and immune function, and all of those systems being well managed indirectly supports slower visible aging too. How to use it? Crush or chop it and let it sit for a few minutes before eating. That resting time allows an enzymatic reaction that activates its most beneficial compounds. Raw, in a dressing or dip, is the most potent way to use it. 7. Papaya. Here's the one I mentioned at the start. Papaya delivers a serious dose of vitamin C, often exceeding what you'd get from an equivalent serving of orange. But the real standout here is an enzyme called papain. Papain supports the breakdown of protein and digestion, which circles back to the same idea we touched on with kiwi. It's not enough to eat the right proteins. Your body needs to actually break them down into usable amino acids. Papaya helps with that step. It also carries antioxidants, including carotenoids, that help defend skin cells from the everyday oxidative stress of sun exposure, pollution, and normal metabolism. How to use it? Best eaten ripe, on its own as a snack, or blended into a smoothie. Slightly underripe papaya is more commonly used in savory dishes in some cuisines, but for the enzyme and vitamin C content, ripe is what you want. 8. Leafy greens. Spinach, kale, and Swiss chard show up on almost every longevity list that's ever been made. And there's a reason for that. They're doing several jobs at once. They bring meaningful vitamin C for synthesis. They bring vitamin K, which plays a role in proteins involved in tissue structure. They bring magnesium, a mineral quietly involved in hundreds of processes in the body, including the ones responsible for building new protein structures like collagen. And they bring chlorophyll, the pigment that gives them their color, which some early research suggests may help support skin's resilience against everyday sun exposure. No single nutrient in leafy greens is doing all the work. It's the overlapping combination that makes them worth eating daily rather than occasionally. How to use it? Raw in salads, sautéed with a little olive oil and garlic, which conveniently pairs with item 6, or blended into a smoothie if texture isn't your thing. Aim for a serving most days, not just once a week. If you're taking notes, drop a comment telling me which food on this list you're adding to your groceries this week. I read every single one, and it helps me know what to cover next. All right, 6 more to go. 9. Walnuts. Walnuts don't get much credit in the skin health conversation, but they deserve a spot here. They're one of the better plant-based sources of copper, and copper matters because of the very last step in collagen production. the cross-linking that takes individual collagen strands and locks them into a strong, organized structure. That step depends on a copper-dependent enzyme. Without enough copper, that final structural step doesn't finish properly, even if everything before it went right. Walnuts also bring a healthy dose of plant-based omega-3s, tying back into the same anti-inflammatory, collagen-protecting benefit we talked about with salmon. How to use it? A small handful daily, added to oatmeal, salads, or eaten on its own, is enough to make a meaningful contribution. 10. Tomatoes. Tomatoes carry lycopene, a pigment compound known for helping defend skin against the oxidative stress caused by sun exposure. One of the most consistent everyday threats to existing collagen, whether you notice it or not. Here's the detail most people miss. Lycopene actually becomes more available to your body when tomatoes are cooked and paired with a bit of fat, like olive oil. Raw tomatoes aren't useless, but a simmered sauce or roasted tomatoes are doing more work for you here. How to use it? Cooked into sauces, roasted with olive oil, or sun-dried. Treat cooked with fat as the goal, not as fresh as possible. 11. Watermelon. This is the overlooked fridge staple I mentioned earlier. Watermelon is mostly water, which is exactly why people underestimate it. But it's also a genuine source of vitamin C and an amino acid called citrulline, which supports healthy blood flow. That matters here because better circulation means your skin cells, where collagen is actually being assembled, are getting oxygen and nutrients more efficiently. It's a simple food, but it's doing more than its reputation as just a summer snack gives it credit for. How to use it? Best eaten fresh and on its own, ideally away from heavy meals, since it digests differently than denser foods. 12. Gelatin. And we end where the whole process comes full circle. Gelatin is what you get when collagen is broken down by heat. It's essentially collagen in a form your body can absorb more readily. If you made the bone broth from tip number 1 and let it cool in the fridge into a jiggly, solid set, that's gelatin. That's not a byproduct to skim off. That's one of the most useful things in the pot. Some research on athletes has linked gelatin intake before activity with an increase in the body's own collagen-building activity, particularly around joints and connective tissue, which suggests it may not just supply raw material, but actually helps signal your body to build more. How to use it? Unflavored gelatin powder stirred into warm tea, coffee, or soup. Or simply don't skim the gel off your homemade broth. Eat it as it naturally sets. Let's bring this all together, because 12 foods is a lot to hold on to at once. Build new collagen with bone broth, salmon, oysters, and gelatin. These give you the direct raw materials. Activate the process with vitamin C from bell peppers, kiwi, and papaya. Without this step, your body can have all the raw material in the world and still not finish the job. Protect what you've already built with garlic, tomatoes, and leafy greens, because collagen loss from sun, stress, and inflammation happens every day, whether you're building new collagen or not. And support the whole system with walnuts for the final cross-linking step, and watermelon for the circulation that gets everything where it needs to go. This isn't a supplement plan, and it isn't complicated. It's 12 ordinary foods, used consistently, working together. That's it. If this changed how you look at your kitchen, hit like. It helps more people find this video instead of another ad for a cream that sits on top of the skin and does nothing. Comment below and tell me which food on this list surprised you the most. And if you're new here, subscribe. Every week we break down real, traditional, food-based health in a way that's actually useful, not just trendy. Because the most powerful anti-aging tool you have access to isn't in a bottle. It's already on your plate.